Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with your other host,
Satish Ram. Good evening.
Oh shit. What? Satish, but we're doing an Anna Saturday show. Which isn't either...
I'll see myself out then.
Actually, no, what's funny is, here's the thing, right? Originally it started off as Anime Saturdays. However, when we had some trouble getting some shows ready, it became Animation Saturdays. So I believe I have released some Steven Universe episodes on Anna Saturday. So you technically do, like, there's nothing wrong with you being here. There's nothing off about you being here. What's interesting is because you're doing the anime side, which is new for you and I.
Yes, because I've never watched anime. So this is my first impression of a lot of things, and this is going to be a very unique experience as I podcast.
Fuck. No, but seriously, okay, so I mean, you and Naruto you have a strange relationship with Naruto, where you've seen some anime stuff going on with it, you've seen some manga stuff going on with it, but mostly your knowledge of Naruto is from the video games. However, if anyone tries to call you a poser of any kind, have a discussion with him about Naruto, and other than the fact that he has a shitty memory overall, he'll go one-on-one with you conversation-wise because you know your shit.
Yeah, it was actually because of a strategy game called Naruto Arena on the internet years ago, and I got into the game very deeply, and so part of getting into the game was learning the lore, because what happened was, let's say to unlock certain characters, to unlock like Kakashi, right? Mm-hmm. You would have to win battles with, let's say, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto. And
right.
So to someone who was familiar with the anime, that makes sense because, of course, Team 7. But to me, it's just like I'm using characters. But I had to learn, so I'm using them because they're Team 7. Team 7 is led by Kakashi. And then you find out, there's the Taijutsu team led by Guy, and you find out Lee is his mentee, you've got Tenten, you've got Neji, this goes on. So the game taught me the basis of early Naruto. And Shippuden, I picked up everything because of the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, which followed alongside the manga and the anime pretty well. And
yeah,
they
so
were really
it's actually really
games.
funny. Now, other stuff you've seen, you made a joke right now, but you have seen, Dragon Ball Z, some stuff in your childhood, but some stuff that you've kept up with, as you've grown up. You've seen Makaku City Actors, Daily Lives of High School Boys, which is a strange mix. But all jokes aside, back in the past, you've seen stuff like Beyblade, Metabots or Metarots. You've seen, what was it?
If you go back, in terms of childhood stuff, there's stuff like Metabots and
Digimon,
and
Pokemon.
Shinzo, I think actually Shinzo. Code Lyoko, which was French animation, stuff like that.
Okay.
So there's stuff from way back. But,
but
I'm up to date in the Naruto storyline.
Which is hilarious.
Which is really funny because I haven't really... And I've seen some of the early anime, and I've seen some of the later anime, and I've seen some manga stuff because of my own personal group of friends where I stumble into them watching or reading, and I just join in because why not? I've got an idea of what's going on. And so watching this movie, which we are doing tonight, I think it's been advertised as such, the first Naruto movie.
Yes. Which is funny.
Which came out after the OVA. We were going back and forth on this, but
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about the OVA in a second. What I want to mention is the fact that I actually forgot to put the word ninja in the beginning. So it's just Naruto the movie. The name of our episode is Naruto the movie Clash in the Land of Snow. Because damn it, I thought Ninja Clash.
Oh, it's Ninja Clash,
no
right?
shit.
Yeah.
No, but it's just so funny to me because I'm sitting there and I'm what is it? Just everything in this world has to be preempted with the word ninja?
Yeah.
Everything, oh, hey, we get to, go to a ninja movie theater, and, there's ninja horses and ninja towns, you know what I mean? What the fuck?
What it reminds me of is, in Gravity Falls, you had the time traveler character, Blandon Blandon, and
right, so everything was time-ish.
Yeah, it was oh, my time knee, or you shut your time mouth. So, we've got this whole thing where we're I kind of do think it's funny, where everything is ninja, where it's this is ninja food, this is the ninja store, but, it's funny because I can't tell you how long it's been since I've actually, let's say, watched Naruto animation. So to sit
this
down...
This is the right time Like, this is the right time period for you to see it.
To watch this film, it was funny because now, first off, I know. So this came like after about 100 episodes of Naruto originally, and
right.
So I
and
know
the release date was actually, to be precise, in Japan at least, August 21st, 2004. That's why when you said it's been a while, I was like, and this is the perfect one for you to sit down and watch because it has also been a while since it came out in general.
Yeah, like I wasn't even born yet when that came out, so like that's saying a lot. And so this is definitely something that was actually enjoyable for me to watch in the sense of like I do like Naruto as a character. I can't explain it because sometimes you really do want to sock him in the face. But
he had to grow in this movie itself, I think. Even in the movie. He had to grow.
He grew in this movie. And part of it, early on, part of it was I could defend him as lovable because in contrast to the Ice Princess, man, she was, so it's Land of Ice or it's technically Land of Snow, right?
It's Land of Snow, but no, it's her heart is icy cold.
She was definitely a snow princess. Like, she was a cold, frigid-hearted young lady. And it's funny. So in comparison, you're just there like, yes, we love you, Naruto. Because
but even then, it's funny though, because even in the beginning, he didn't know he had to follow her to protect her, so he still came off as a stalker. So it's kind of funny because, like, I guess in the beginning, it was a bit of an issue. That's why it was still kind of hard. But when she was drunk and just kind of rambling, and then it turns into, I don't know, it's just a weird situation too, because like he still felt like a stalker in the beginning, and it's like, oh, by the way, your stalker's now protecting you. Like, that sounds like some really scary shit out of anime context.
It is I suppose lightened up by the fact that Naruto is
He's not a child.
Well, yeah, rather Naruto is a child, is not an adult. Yes. Correct. So it is the idea of like for him, it's the childlike wonder of like, wow, I just worshipped you on the big screen, and now you are here physically, and and it's funny because he ran into that classic "Don't meet your heroes, kids" moment.
Of course. Which is kind of funny, I think, that they threw that in there. What I do enjoy is the way they opened up the film, because I think it was very interesting to open it up with this, with the actual movie that they were watching. So we're sitting there going, oh, what's this? Wait, no, they're watching a movie, movie made by Toei. Because that's essentially what this was, by the way. One of those older classic samurai movies made by Toei or Toho. Which was very interesting.
It was fun. I mean, it was the general clash, good versus evil. We've got the whole, and then the rainbow chakra, and I was like, all right, like I'm in, and that was pretty much it. I liked it though, the concept of like we're watching a movie in the movie, and what made me laugh also was the idea of the guy comes in and gets really mad at them. It's like, you snuck your way in. It's like, no, we did buy tickets. We're just ninja
and shit. Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. That's one thing that I do enjoy, and whenever I do Star Wars Wednesday shows with Tristan, right, another one of our podcasters, we always mention that when we go into things that aren't the movies, because we've expanded into an expanded universe. Our podcasts are expanding into universes that aren't fucking canon anymore. Anyway, so as we've expanded, we've realize that even though a show might be slightly shit or might not be what we, like everything that we would enjoy from another Star Wars, like, spin-off series, what's good about it is it's world building, right? So even though I'm not going to say this movie was the best Naruto movie I've ever seen, even though it might be the only one as of this point, so I can't wait to do more shows with you, Tish, I will say that it is some nice world building, I think, to see like, hey, even though we'll make the joke about ninja theaters, ninja this, ninja that, there are places in their ninja world that are just like, hey, we're normal people. Like, oh, shit, you guys are from the Leaf Village where ninja shit goes on. Oh, okay, cool. We're here in not ninja world. Because the way Naruto, when you read it and when you play it and everything, because obviously it follows the story of Naruto and everyone else, it makes you feel like the entire everything is all ninja shit. All 24/7. Like, nobody is not a ninja.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
They just happen to be from a ninja-based town, and village, rather, and I think they mentioned that, like, oh, we're from the wind or whatever, that's where
we're from the leaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They did.
So
but what's interesting is that just before, before seeing that happen, to us, it's just like, it feels like everyone is a fucking ninja, right? But that's not, that's not the truth.
No. So that was a nice little realization. There's also the idea of talking about where we are in terms of society, modernized-wise, Because
Yes.
I think to this point, there was never a discussion of like, oh, we have movies and stuff.
They had weird stuff. Like, I think Naruto before, this was in the first 20 episodes, and I think it was in the manga as well. He had a walkie-talkie, and we all kind of sat back and went, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's right. So you're here, and it's like, where are we? And now the fact that we have these movies that are obviously well done, or based on how they're, or it's at least like, let's say, the 2000s. But
well, no, I would argue that the way it looked like they were filming with older, fashioned.
Technically, they don't necessarily have like cell phones, so it might be like the 80s. Who knows? But
earlier than that, I would argue, in terms of the way that they were filming, but it was still a nice. It's a nice blend. It's a bit. It reminds me a little bit of, strangely, Afro Samurai in the way that they blend current technology. Although Afro Samurai had cell phones and shit, but you can blend.
I see your point. Yes.
Yeah. It's a nice blend, I think, to do stuff like that. So, I like seeing this movie being filmed. I like watching the movie being filmed in the sense that how it's just, you're still going to film even under these conditions? They're just changing, my boy. It's great. Just the plot is changing.
Yeah,
whatever.
Also when we got into the actual, like, the backstory of what was going on, if I remember correctly, so I could be wrong on this one, this is the first time we see Kakashi as an Anbu.
In a movie, yes, I guess. Well, because the movie, you even mentioned this is, you were a little frustrated that they showed Naruto doing the...
Oh, yeah, Naruto does the Rasengan. I mean, granted, it's like his whole 7-color Rasengan and stuff, but he does the Rasengan to finish off the guy in this. And
yes.
About, like, let's say 7 episodes later, based on, like, when this is supposed to take on canon relevance, Kakashi sees Naruto doing the Rasengan for the first time in the anime. So
that's why this is not canon. But what I do enjoy is this is, okay, other than that fact, and other than, seeing Kakashi first time as an Anbu, I do like that this is pretty much, like, other than those two little things, in my opinion, they're a bit smaller, than certain Dragon Ball Z things where it's like, hey, Goku's alive, you know what I mean, or shit like that, or hey, Goku's dead, and wait, if Goku's dead, what the fuck's going on here? Or Trunks is here, that's, what the fuck? Little stuff here and there.
The Trunks is a big paradox, I think, in some of these movies set up for Dragon Ball Z.
DBZ.
Definitely.
Yeah. But in terms of Naruto, I feel like, it's canon enough. It doesn't have to be, though, because remember, no movies are usually not canon. But it can be canon enough to fit, which I think I like. But I do think, in this case, just like the Dragon Ball Z films, right, they put these in there, the idea of, Kakashi being shown to be a bit more serious and to, his actual ranking, and also looking at Naruto and seeing what he can do and having the Fox in there as a way to say, hey, guys, here's what's coming up in the anime, because it was only 7 episodes, so it was still in theaters while the anime episode aired. So in a way, it was like a teaser for that episode. The same way, and of course people who are reading the manga know that it's coming, so they flip the fuck out because that's the first time they're seeing it on screen. So in a way, it's the same reason why, sometimes Dragon Ball Z movies would actually mirror what's going on in the anime at the time, where we had, movie 7, which was Super Android 13, come out during the Android saga.
Right.
And stuff like that. Broly was the big mystery, which is like, Broly's coming out because Cell. Wait, no, that's weird. But at one point, right, it was the idea that, hey, when this DBZ movie's coming out, it's around the same time. So think about it, right? You had Cooler come out around the same time Frieza was happening, or rather wrapping up. I think happening, though. So Correct. It's like, oh, his brother for revenge. And it's like,
Yeah, no.
So anyway,
it's funny because, like, as a very Americanized human being, right? I have to be honest. It is still sometimes weird for me to remember, like, I am watching this, and it involves the characters to the point of where I knew them from in the anime, but it's not necessarily canon. Because,
of course, because you see, because when you think of movies, like I know I know you've been able to make that distinction with Dragon Ball Z, but it's hard for you to do it elsewhere, I think. Right? Because the Dragon Ball Z movies are not canon. You know that.
Correct. But everywhere else, I have to remind myself. So I'll sit there thinking about stuff that's like, what the... But, like,
Yeah. No, I understand. Because, like, a lot of other stuff, a lot of other films, obviously American stuff, they don't do that, Although, right, recently, we talked about this off the show, on our TG News show,
Right.
the DC Movieverse and TVverse will be separated.
Which is going to further confuse me. But
yeah,
anyway.
so if it makes you feel any better, it's coming to America too. Don't you worry. American stuff will be not canon.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you mentioned.
Go ahead.
Way earlier. There was an OVA that came out that I've been looking around. I don't think it's actually been dubbed into English. It was a Jump OVA, right?
No, yeah. They got that, right? The American release, I think, got a short thing about Naruto being unable to use the bathroom or something.
All right, no, you're thinking of two separate things. Because remember, we got that's just two different OVAs. One OVA stayed in Japan, and the other OVA came out in Japan, and then it's the Konoha Annual Sports Festival, which we can also talk about eventually, not next week, or whenever the next time I get you on.
Gotcha.
But we'll talk about that first OVA, but which came out a year before this, so in 2003. But this OVA, the Konoha Annual Sports Festival, actually came out on the DVD release with the DVD. So it's funny because I think it showed elsewhere. Like I think it was a Jump thing that actually showed it at like one of those Jump festivals, but they actually put it on the DVD, and then in America we also got it on the same DVD, which was nice. Also, another interesting thing, because we never really got the chance to talk about Naruto on the show. Funny thing about Naruto. So I remember reading Shonen Jump in 2003 when they were saying, "Hey, Naruto's coming to, it's coming to TV," and I was like, "What?" Because it was in Shonen Jump, American Shonen Jump at the time. It's coming to TV in Japan. So if you're able to check up, if you're able to be there at 6 p.m. every day, you can watch Naruto. And I was like, "Hey," I was 13. I was like, "Hey guys, so should we take a plane to Japan every day? How feasible is that?"
Yeah.
And they were like,
For
"It's
half
not."
Hour?
Yeah, and they were like, "It's not. You're a nerd." And I was like, "I'm well aware. Stop bullying."
That sucks. I'm really glad I'm really glad that they were so willing to ruin your dreams that early. How horrible.
Oh yeah, middle school was horrible for me. But anyway, let's get back on the things that are actually fun.
Naruto.
So, Naruto, am I right? Am I right or am I right?
I like that. So again, I was talking about like how this is refreshing for me to watch this because I haven't watched continuous Naruto animation in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the prowess of like Sakura Sasuke in Naruto in the beginning when they're fighting the bodyguards. I enjoyed that. I was like, right, they are very talented.
It's
like,
weird though. I enjoyed their prowess. Like, okay, I know what you're saying. I enjoyed their ability to kick ass. I did not enjoy their ability to be like, yes, let's just randomly kick ass. Like, in my head, because, okay, I thought they were going with the whole, we're filming a movie, guys. They didn't go with that trope, thankfully. But when you see this actress in her outfit, on a horse, and guys behind her also on horses, I'm sitting there and I'm like, so you're filming a scene, right? And it's like, no, she's being attacked.
No, she's being attacked. They did the right thing.
No, she wasn't. They were her bodyguards.
So she's being attacked by her bodyguards.
I hate you so much.
No, because all right, think about it this way. If they, on the off chance that they had been filming a scene, right?
Yes.
And you interrupted that, they can always refilm it, But
but they beat up people.
That she was being attacked, they just saved a life. So either they'd have to reshoot a scene or she would be dead. And I honestly wouldn't want her to be dead because, as we know by the plot of the movie, she's not just an actress. She needs to save an entire land of snow. And so it was really important for her to be alive. So I think
what you're
really
saying
disappointed had they not, beat up those bodyguards.
So what you're
who
saying
could
is
have been dangerous.
They were saving a ninja life by beating those ninja bodyguards. Thankfully, that ninja actress was saved because she was actually a ninja princess from the ninja land of Ninja Snow.
Ninja Snow, by the way, different than regular snow, because if you leave it in the air too long, it will perform taijutsu on your face cells. So be very careful. But
ninjutsu and taijutsu are different, motherfucker. My joke would be actually Ninja Snow is different from normal snow.
Why would Ninja Snow be doing ninjutsu for sure? Like, why would you? I feel like they would.
Ninja Snow is that if you step on it, you might be stepping on kunai.
No, because for me, like the snow physically assaulting your face, I mean, like you getting punched in the face, that's taijutsu, bro.
I got to be honest. Scariest thing isn't Ninja Snow punching you in the face. It's now hearing it with Guy's voice behind it.
Well, that's the only
Guy
kind
or
of
Lee
taijutsu that should be approved.
So we're arguing over Ninja Snow right now? That's what the fuck is happening? Is that
No,
what's
we're
going
not.
on right
I'm
now?
just saying that if a snow comes near your ear and you hear dynamic entry, I would run for my fucking life.
No, I'm in his voice, just fucking in Guy's voice, just, hello, I'm Snow. Thank you, Snow Sensei.
What would
Get
be
the
great
fuck out of there.
is that if all of them said it, so like simultaneously, you would hear like 6 Guy Sensei voices. Hi, I'm Snow. Like that would be spectacular. Ninja Snow would be a spectacle to behold. Like I would pay for that. Like would you not?
Man.
Like anyway, but more importantly, yeah, I enjoyed their prowess. I mean, I understand what you're saying in terms of, like, they were too reactive, but I guess I pass it off because in my head it's like, hey, again, they're kids. They're hyperactive. They're very eccentric. They're anxious. They're eager.
You know what it is? I thought it was more on Naruto. Like, oh, yeah, of course Naruto's going to do it because he's like, oh, I'll save you. But then all of a sudden the other guys were doing it. I was like, Sasuke.
Well,
like,
they're a team. You know, they got to rise together. They got to fall together.
That's what I assumed.
I mean, this is to the point where they are generally, like, a team. They actually do work very well together.
No,
they
are.
Sense that, like, you know, they would do this whole thing collectively. And I enjoyed that whole beatdown. I did. I just laughed at the fact that later the director, them were basically like, gotta admit, they ain't bad. Like, you know.
What I think what's really funny is that Sasuke gave off this vibe of, I did it not because we're a team, even though that's obviously, you know, a good thing to point out. It felt like he was just like, man, I haven't beaten up people in a while. And it's just like, man, if that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is.
Well, he got off, to the point of where we are in the anime, he got off all his good combos. I mean, he got off the lion combo, and he got off a Chidori, and he got off a fireball jutsu. So Sasuke burned his entire moveset off. He was pretty good.
I mean, that's what they have to do. You know, that's one of the reasons why I guess it was cool that they let the movie go on for a while and have a bunch of different fights. But I will admit, and, you know, I think that you agree, this movie definitely, and maybe it's the Dragon Ball Z part of me, even like the Bleach to an extent, pulling me down, although I think Bleach movies are around this time as well. But I don't know, like, I feel like this movie did not need to be this long.
Oh, well, I haven't seen Bleach movies, so I can't comment on that, to be fair.
Okay.
But, like, honestly, there was a lot drawn out in here that could have been fit in one episode, honestly, but I can understand someone say, okay, let's put it in 2 episodes. Well, this was an hour 20, right? So that's like 80 minutes of animation.
82,
you could probably have fit this in 2 episodes. I really do think you could have fit this in a 2-parter.
I argue that this would have been, because, okay, so I'll say this much, though. Looking at the first Bleach movie, and I hate to, you know, compare movies sometimes, or compare anything, really, because usually it's like, no, it's its own thing. I hate to do that. But to be fair, like, looking at these as anime standalones that, you know, are not, the Bleach movie, while being this long, which you should really see it, because it was so heartwarming and moving, and it had, you know, it just went along well, in my opinion. That maybe there was, because I think there were 2 fight scenes. That's what it was. There were 2 fight scenes, and it was like, oh, you know, they did it twice. So it was like, okay, you know, you paused here because you had to, and then you moved on here. So I believe there were 2 fight scenes. Actually, okay, there were 3. Hear me out, though. They did little things here and there to make them seem special, like more special. We're like, okay, here's when he does his Bankai, but they're still too powerful. But the captains are here, but no, it didn't exactly work. And then this happened. But in this film, I don't know why, it just felt too long. Like something about, there wasn't, maybe it's because of the character, the princess. For some reason, even though at the end you can go, oh, I feel for her, you didn't feel for her as much as you did for the character in the female character in the Bleach movie. I think because of that. What?
I hated that chick. I hated I'm referring
the actress?
to the Snow Princess.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
I hated her until the moment when her and Naruto were both in jail, and she was like actually sitting there like, wow, you know? But, man, up to that, even then I was sitting there like, man, lady,
and the thing is,
you really know how to shut someone down, because she's like, what's the point? It's like, you would just fail. And then Naruto fails, and she's like, see, you failed. It's like, shut up.
It does make Naruto look more likable, as I said to you before the show at one point. It's like, it really does.
Because
he has to be now.
The 2 scenes, I think, that were really spectacular, outside of the ending fight, which was awesome, honestly. I thought that was great.
Right.
but the railroad scene where he's blazing it down away from the train.
Oh, yeah, that was
great. The idea of, like, no, I'm not going to give up. And she's like, what? No, I'm not going to give up. No, we're going to fucking die. No, I'm not going to give up. And then you see her actually believe in him because she, like, clings on to him a little bit stronger. And he outruns the train. And it's like, why did that seem believable for a second? Like, you want to, like, Naruto, I think, one of the reasons I'll sit here and, like, all jokes aside, like, if you had asked me, oh, let's do the first Bleach movie, I probably would have said no because of my unfamiliarity with this. And you probably wouldn't have asked me, right? Naruto brings out this, like, childlike side of me that I appreciate. Like, it sometimes happens in wrestling with really good underdog stories.
I mean, it happens with Goku as well. You know, that's when you know you have a good protagonist in your shonen anime, or at least a good anime, good story surrounding it, because, you know, in my opinion, you know, even no matter how old you are, if done well enough, I mean, okay, if he is a kid, because the thing is, if he's not a kid, obviously, you know, unless it's Goku, he might not bring out a childlike side of you. Fair enough. Like, Ichigo doesn't normally do that, but he's a teen. But still, the idea is that, like, yeah, if you're going to have a fucking, you know, a protagonist in one of these series, and he's going to sit there and make you go, fuck this guy 24/7, maybe it's not the best anime. And in my opinion, and yours as well, Naruto has his moments, especially when he's younger. But even in this movie, it shows that growth that you have in the first 100 episodes, really, of him just going from little shit to somewhat respectable ninja.
Right, and it's cool because, like, I think there's something almost lost with, like, the Shippuden Naruto in the sense of, like, yes, he is by far not as annoying, you know, and I like. Although then again, sometimes we get armadillo penis stuff, but I like that he's I don't know. I like that he's gotten a bit more. No, I think it's okay, and I like it too. For the most part, I do, and I definitely like that. Not only is it a character progression, but I like that character more. But there is something childlike in me that appreciates Naruto's, like, whimsicalness, and it makes me more. It's the idea of, like, you know, I really want to see him succeed, and so I'm willing to really suspend some disbelief for Naruto as a character and not analyze it as much, which is hard for me to do because I'm very analytical. I'm very serious about some of this stuff, you know, so it's hard for me to sit there and be like, hey, you know, I should just chill out because Naruto's, he's kind of dumb in these cases, but here he is and he's fighting his heart out, and it's like, man, you know, it's that in anime that, like, in terms of outside of comedy anime, right? That's the kind of stuff that I have to be attached to. Like, I have to sit there and, like, I wish I felt this way about John Cena. I really do in wrestling. Like, I really wish I could sit there.
The character, yes.
You know, and feel good about John Cena, the character, and be like, man, do I appreciate your heart and your resolve? Because Naruto is essentially, you know, in that way, he is going to win more than not, and even if he loses, he's going to come back and win somehow, you know? So,
yes.
And you know it's going to happen, but, like, it's still really cool when it does, and I have to appreciate that. So, outside of that and the scene where he's in the jail with her, as I was mentioning, like the two scenes, when he's literally fighting off the chakra pain to, like, break through it, is admirable. You sit there and you're like, man, I like this guy. Like, I really, really like this guy. Combine it with the fact that he's put up against somebody who's like, just give up, life means nothing. There is no happiness. There is no spring. Nothing exists. My father lied. I am hurting. I am useless. This land sucks. And then Naruto's like, I will never give up. And it's like, man.
The way she says it, too, it's just like, you want to hear a joke, Naruto? Yeah, sure, what? God. Whoa, getting pretty dark here.
Right, no, it was the idea of, like, there is never going to be spring. My father, he lied to me. It's like, man, you're not even, it's not, like, I thought when they developed it to the backstory, right, that it might be like, I am sad because I've been hoping for this the entire time. But more so, it was just like, no, he's always been a liar. He gave me nothing. Like, I loved him when he was here, but he gave me nothing. I just sit there like, you're really unlikable as a character. Thank God you redeemed yourself.
Yeah.
Because I just, oh, God.
My father never did anything for me. He never even gave birth to me. Wait, what? My father did not make me. Are you saying that he's not your dad? No, he is my father, but he did not make me. What? I'm so confused. What?
So that's funny, and I liked also the side characters that were meant to be killed. Nadare and, like, his two buddies, Nadare Roga. Nadare Roga. Whoever. Did you see a dub or did you see a sub? By the way,
I actually saw the dub. Usually, I would watch. Actually, that's not true. Sometimes, no, actually, it depends. It's really
so
interesting.
I have to ask you because
No, it's very interesting.
I watched the dub, and I wanted to know what you.
This is a show that strangely I'd watched the dub for more than the sub. However, I'm in no way saying that the dub is always 100% amazing for it. So if I had enough time, I'd probably watch both and compare them with you. But at the same time, I didn't know if I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe not, But usually, because the thing is like you look at Dragon Ball Z, right? I grew up on the dub, so as much as I love the sub to death, because I also grew up on the sub as well, I will watch the dub, right? And the dub being the Funimation dub, the Funimation with Chris Sabat. Which, by the way, we had some Funimation voice actors in this. Speaking of dub actors, yes, because Kyle Hebert, who is the voice of adult Gohan, and many others. The funny thing about him is he definitely does a lot of LA voice work. So you might be seeing some stuff done in LA, not done in Texas like Funimation is. And you'll be sitting there going, that sounds familiar. It sounds like, is that Gohan? Like in Gurren Lagann, right? Which is not done in Texas. The superhero type, I've only seen like one episode. The guy who's like, I am like that guy with the sword and everything, trying to say, come on, break through. That's Kyle Hebert doing his Great Saiyaman voice.
Right.
Yeah. Also, Crispin Freeman, by the way, was in it. So
okay. My favorite bit of voice acting in this one was actually for Nadari Roga. And so I looked into it because he was voicing the dub by Liam O'Brien. And he does Gaara in the anime.
Wow, that's funny.
I was like, okay. And I like Gaara's, so I sit there and I'm like, somehow that makes sense to me. Like, it just, and I liked Nadari's character. Like, I wanted him to die. But, like, I liked him. I liked his arrogance. I mean, you have to be so arrogant as a character, even written that way, to name a move after yourself. Because, like, he names his move something like the Wolf's Fang Avalanche.
Right.
Or something. That's what Nadari Roga translates to.
That's hilarious.
Nadari Roga translates to, like, Nadari is avalanche, and Roga means Wolf's Fang in the way that they use it.
It's just, it's just...
when he hits Kakashi with the Wolf's Fang Avalanche, it's like, basically you just said, like, ninjutsu, my name. Like, what kind of wrestling bullshit is that, bro? Like,
it's like me saying, Mat Fist, and you're just like, oh, yeah, well, Ram Tackle.
Yeah, no, it just cracks me up. Like, as a character who's meant to be disliked for arrogance, right? I appreciate the fact that, his name is the fucking move. And then he was so arrogant in terms of his chakra armor, as most of them were. He wasn't trained in taijutsu. So Kakashi just beat the shit, like physically knocked the shit out of him. Which I was like, this is why this should have been a 2-episode arc. Because, like, it was so simple. Like, it wasn't like a legendary fight. It was just the idea of, like, I fought you before. This was detailed in this movie very briefly. And,
and there are some fun fights.
Now you see my lightning cutter, and I see your Nadari Roga jutsu, and now I'm going to kick you in the face. And he's dead. And it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yes, I think the fights will develop more as series goes on. A bit like how in Dragon Ball, which I know this is, technically I'm not going to say this Naruto, before Shippuden is the Dragon Ball, because of course, in Naruto the fights got a bit more elaborate before they jumped. Yeah, before they jumped to Shippuden. But I will say that looking at Dragon Ball, doing those movies with Tristan, you can see that there's this early fighting style that's obviously not Kamehameha all the time. Nothing wrong with it, but even though of course they got their moves here that weren't just like they weren't. It's not like we just did only taijutsu here, but you definitely. I mean, I can assume that since there are 3 Naruto films before Shippuden, that as we see the 3 films, it will progress, and by the 3rd film it'll be like
Yeah, and to be fair, not to take away anything from the ending fight sequence, because as I aforementioned, it was good.
Yes, of course.
Part of that also, and this is one thing I've always loved about Naruto, and generally anime in general, but I always loved, Naruto's really good with musical backing, in my opinion. I really enjoy the music for Naruto in terms of the theme songs and the BGMs that are going on there. So, I love that theme when Naruto comes up from the water, and I'm just sitting there oh, I recognize this. I recognize this feeling. I know what's going on. And I was just enjoying it. And also, I told you my favorite line in the dub, cheesy as shit, is it's payback time with interest. I was like, that's the most like that's a very Naruto line. Like, it's payback time with interest.
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
And then he's there with like 60 shadow clones, and I'm like, yeah, that's normal. That's Naruto.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna get mad. Like, I enjoy it. And there are thousands of other people that enjoy it too, so I feel better.
Right? But then there's thousands that hate it. Damn it, no, but the ones that enjoy it.
And I'm okay with it. I am.
I know.
I think I can understand why someone may look at it and be like, I don't really enjoy this. And I'm okay with it. But
and then you watch the sub because it's there. I mean, thank goodness, right?
Right. And even for me, it's also the idea of like, and I'll look at it and be like, look, just respect my right to enjoy this. Because I do. I'm not going to deny it. It was, I think Naruto, the growth that he exhibited in this movie, as you said, was sort of partial to like the idea of like, hey, the first 100 episodes to an actual competent ninja, and also the Team 7 working together because, you know, Naruto likely wouldn't have been able to hurt him that much had Sasuke not cracked his armor, and that was really well done. You know, Sasuke basically knowing like, I'm not going to be able to finish him on my own, but I might be able to do enough for Naruto to do it, and that seemed to be his plan because he says in his little, you know, pass out phase, like, you know, I cracked his armor. That might be enough for you to finish him off, Naruto. And it's like, cool.
So one thing I want to mention, of course, that, you know, it's the obvious one. Whoa, Yuri Lowenthal, Sasuke? What? Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
As if that's not fucking normal already. No, it's just funny. It's like, and who's Yuri Lowenthal? Well, I mean, he was, you know, he's obviously been in Gurren Lagann. He's been Suzaku in Code Geass. He was Simon, or Simone. I assume Simon, in Gurren Lagann. He was in the Ben 10 series. He was Ben. Also, he's been in Afro Samurai as well as
Afro.
Kuma.
I was following the line. Well, I mean, if he was Ben in Ben 10, I thought in Afro Samurai he would be Afro.
Actually, he has been Goku.
Right, but Dragon Ball Z
in the anime Sayuki.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you.
Not in Dragon Ball Z. I fucked with your mind. But seriously. But anyway, talking about the voice actors, I really want to focus on them for a second. Because you talked about Liam O'Brien. I want to talk about, Kyle Hebert again, because obviously not only did I grow up with him, but I also want to mention that in Naruto, he was Kiba. In the actual series, he was Kiba. So he was Kiba in the series. He's been Ryu in the Street Fighter video games. And I didn't realize this because I don't really watch the Bleach dub that often because I'm a bigger fan of the sub. That's when I was watching it. Now I just read because it's not on anymore. He was Aizen in Bleach, which was like, forgot about that. And then Crispin Freeman, of course, my God, I love Crispin Freeman to death. He has been Itachi in Naruto. He was Jeremiah Gottwald in Code Geass. Also, you might remember him as Alucard in Hellsing, the big one. He was Kyon from the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. And he's just been in a lot of fucking anime. In some beautiful, beautiful anime. So, and if you're wondering, wait, who were these two characters? Well, Kyle Hebert was Mizore Fuyukuma. So if you're going, I don't know who that is. It was one of the stagehands, one of the guys that kept on, if you basically heard Gohan's voice coming from a guy that kept on saying, we can't have Princess Fuyukuma, we can't have her here. How, Princess Gale's here? No, we can't let her be here. That was Gohan. And then that one random dude that Sakura was crushing on that he was like, hi, how are you all doing? With the really deep, smooth voice, that was Crispin Freeman. So that one random actor that popped in out of nowhere, I just hear the voice and I'm like, hey, Crispin Freeman, how you doing, man? What you doing there? Strange thing, I don't know why, because they have the Japanese and American actors side by side. According to this resource I'm looking at, no Japanese actor for him. I'm pretty sure that's a lie.
He just didn't have a line.
Know. He had to have had a line, though. He spoke words.
You sure?
His mouth moved.
They could have animated that in. We have Photoshop in this day and age. This was 2004, right? I'm kidding. But
No. I'm only laughing because you and I had just seen the Deadpool movie where they credited Adobe Photoshop at the end.
Oh, yeah, it was spectacular. In the beginning, they also credited, an emotional female, what else was there in it?
Stereotypical British villain.
Yeah, the director was an overpaid tool.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the. But.
But seriously though, back to one of our points. Again, definitely could have been shorter. And I think personally, again, it might just be my, because Bleach, it felt like even though as they went on, it felt like they was drawn out. But in the beginning, I felt like it made it was nice. It was a good format. Hour 20, we're good, right? DBZ, 50 minutes. Sometimes I do want a little bit more, right? But just in this film, an hour and 20 felt like too much.
Yeah, there was a lot that it was funny because there are some that benefited, I think, from the extension. Yuki's manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure his name out right now. Sandayu, is it?
I'll be checking it right now, but yes.
I believe it's Sandayu because I remember them saying Sandayu.
Yeah, of course, over and over and over because he kind of died horrifyingly.
That scene with the where he led the rebellion of the hidden samurais and then they all got murdered was really well done to me in the sense of you felt for Sandayu this entire time. At first, I hated him, by the way. I hated him in the beginning.
Holy fuck! Do you know who Sandayu was voiced over by?
No.
Wow. Timmy's dad from Fairly Odd Parents. Who's also the voice, by the way, of Jorgen von Strangle and Cosmo.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow. That's wonderful. God, I love this world.
That's a funny little swing around.
Oh, my God. No, because it's interesting. Usually, and this is, okay, people who do, anime that gets dubbed over, and comes over to America, yeah, it's not like they only stick to anime, right? They do, they will have, a series, American animated shows, stuff like that. But it's just crazy when stuff like that happens, especially because this movie came out in 2004. So Fairly Odd Parents was big, but not as big as it is now, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been out. It had been out for 3 years at the time. So I think it's just kind of funny, you get him in that period. That's great. Wow.
It's funny how those things, in terms of come together.
Yeah.
But, okay. You said it was released in 2004 in Japan, right?
Right, 2005 here. But still.
Was it 2005?
Yes, it was. Huh. I'm pretty sure it was. I'll check for you, but I'm pretty sure it was, yes.
No, I could have sworn that, we didn't get, a U.S. release until, much later for this one.
Let me see.
Because if I remember correctly, I know it was in Japan.
Okay, I'm sorry. We got it in 2007.
Okay, yeah, so that's a bigger deal, in my opinion.
Actually, yeah, so it was around for 6 years. That's interesting. Huh. That's interesting, actually.
I guess digressing a bit. Yeah, the scene where Sandayu, leads us out, because it was kind of cool, where it was wow, they've been waiting this entire time. They've been trying to, hope. And then they all got
and that's why they died. Because Cosmo was leading them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, now that we know that, we're kind of sitting back, we're like, huh, yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense. That's a shame, too. But, yeah, I like that scene was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of laughed and got mad at the line where he's like, don't cry for me. And she's like, I can't cry. You have my tears. And I'm like,
that was sad.
That is sad, right? But I was like,
yeah.
But it's also kind of a funny line where it's like, but now how will I cry? Screw you for dying. But, more importantly.
Yeah.
I thought that was well, but as you mentioned just now, the scene where the random actors are like, oh, hello, at the beginning, that stuff was not crazy significant. And
no, Kristen Freeman is, but not that stuff.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff that could, you could have shaved 20 minutes off this, and I know it seems like I'm beating a dead horse here, but I do feel like it would have helped. The flow wasn't a bad release. I don't think this was bad. I enjoyed it. I had no problem watching it. I didn't sit there and be like, please give me the hour back. Because there are going to be some things where I'll sit there and be like, please give me an hour back. I don't want, and I don't feel that way about this. I'm generally lighter on something like this than I might be on wrestling, I think. But
Yeah. Also,
was
I mean, it's a
likable.
one-off thing, and it did, interestingly enough.
Matt, I hate to inform you, got some slight technical difficulties going on right now.
Damn. Do
There
you hear
go.
me now?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can hear you.
All right. If it happens again, tell me, and I will switch over to another phone, and you will start ranting.
But
about
the
Ninja War. What I was saying was, interestingly enough, it did very well at the Japanese box office, getting 1.37 billion yen, which is so funny.
Like $20?
Honestly, no, and it sounds horrible, but my God, when you hear.
Well, you just got cut off again, so I'm going to assume it's due to the fact that, you pissed off somebody by making the comment here and there. But,
it's a lot of yen.
Okay, we're good. You're safe now. You should be.
No. I'm calling in with a different number. So please rant about the Ninja War. You remember the Ninja War, don't you, Grandpa?
The Ninja War? There was no Ninja War. What are you talking about?
Start ranting. Tell me how much you love or hate the movie.
I will say I will rant for you just so you can get on. But so one of the things I thought was sort of nice is that I guess I like the plot of the beginning where it's mentioned like, oh, okay, so we've got this guy here who's ruling over the land of snow, and he's ridiculous because all he's buying is these trinkets and toys. It doesn't make any sense. And you find out later on that what it actually is that he created a generator so this land can have spring. And I don't know why. I guess I just thought that was nice, the idea of like, wow, he created a weather machine so there can be spring. And it's like, well, it's not complete, so there can only be spring some of the year. But that makes sense. You don't want it to be spring all the time.
That's true.
Did you hear any of that, or?
I just came in with weather machine. You don't want it to be spring all the time, and I was like,
no. What I was saying is that I think one of the things I appreciate about the central plot line, in the beginning scene when they're meeting the actors, Kakashi mentions that like, oh, the story goes for the Land of Snow that the leader was kind of like weird and finicky, and that he bought a whole bunch of trinkets. He wasted the fortune of the people on that, and it turns out that really he was a visionary. He was ahead of his time because he was creating a machine that allowed the land to have spring, which would never have, been heard before. And I thought that was really nice because I was like, wow, you sit there and you're like, huh. It reminds me of like the parable of the ship where you think from the outside it's like, oh, he has no idea how to run a country, he doesn't know what he's doing, and here he is trying to bring spring to his people. And this was his plan because he always talked to his daughter about it, so it's reinforced by like his entire idea the whole time was, I want to bring spring to this land. That's really, really cool, I think.
Yeah. So, it was a nice movie. I think that it was a, even though we keep on talking about it being shorter, again, it's not as if it was horrible. And by the way, I do think it was an interesting concept that she turned out to be this princess. Though I do want to mention something, and I'm sure we could talk about this for another, 5 minutes before we wrap things up. It does seem weird, though, that her alias would be a film star, because it's kind of not keeping a low profile. Just going to put that out there. Not. Like, it's like me going, damn it, I have to go, undercover. People might want to kill me. I'm going to be Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I guess
be Johnny Depp, everybody.
The idea sort of that maybe the film industry will give her a chance to, like, wear makeup and be someone different, or that they're not really okay, it didn't seem like they were crazy technologically advanced in Land of Snow where they were just watching films on the daily.
Yeah, it's no Twitter. But it's, but still the point is, though, it's crazy because, no social media, but, and even in 2004, they weren't thinking of it with a social media mind because when making this film in our world, in real time, it was 2003. So, the point is that, though, it's just so weird to me that it's just, yes, she grew up. So she was a child, so she did grow up, so that's also different, too. You look different. But it was just so interesting to me that, you have the bad guys looking over one of her movies saying, oh, that must be her. Well, hot damn. It was going to happen eventually.
No, yeah, it was funny, I guess, also. I guess the reason you let it slide, if you do, is because it's not like she sat there and said, like, oh, I'm going to be an actress to hide. Like, she wanted to be an actress. This was explained towards the end, where she actually said to her dad, like, she's like, what are you going to do if there's spring? And she's like, well, I'll be a princess. Like, well, what else? I think I'll be an actress. So, like, she was following out her dreams to try and be happy some way.
Mm-hmm. which is nice. So one thing I want to mention is that I want to mention that so that's nice though. She wanted to be an actress.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they actually had them take on an A-rank mission. I know they've done it before by accident, but it's strange how now he being Kakashi is pretty fine with it. Like it jumped from, oh man, A-rank mission to, nah, you guys got this, brah.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit, not jarring,
odd,
but it was weird to me. The idea of, like, they had that short conversation where they acknowledged it, like, well, normally this would be the mission where I would call for some extra support. And Sasuke's like, no, we got this. And it was funny to me because also in that exchange, I was so mad at Sandayu because he basically was like, yeah, I did this so she could come back. The whole time. I was manipulative. And I was just like, you're an ass in a way. Like, I know you're looking out for your people and you think about it, but if I look at it one way, you're an ass.
This is where I would put the land of snow. If I had one. Like, that's basically what happened.
No,
that or just, like, again, Cosmo leading your people. Just
and he
Cosmo
lied.
leading your fucking
he
people.
lied about what was going on in the land. I mean, It's funny because Naruto made it true because the sun shone, and then they created the rainbow pillars, etc., etc. But he lied to get them to go there, and he lied to her.
Who's the real villain, Satish? Who's the real villain?
Like and then he died. I mean, like.
So they killed the real villain, Satish. Everything else was just an illusion.
Died. Sandayu and the villain, who was he was a complete jackass.
Yeah, I know. In my head, everything that happens all the time is just Itachi. Just sitting back, just using Genjutsu.
That makes sense.
But anyway, we can see some of that in the new anime that's coming out soon. The prequel to everything. But again, don't spoil what happens. Don't spoil what happens to Itachi. But
okay.
Anyway, so we're reaching the end of our show. Anything you want to say? Any comments you want to bring up before we wrap everything up?
Yeah, one small thing actually.
Okay.
One thing that amused me. Okay. Again, I mentioned how long it's been since I've watched Naruto, right? And I've been playing the games for years.
Yes.
It slipped my mind that this was at the point where Naruto still needed a shadow clone to help him handle the Rasengan.
Right.
So I was kind of laughing because he's there trash talking and he's prepping the Rasengan, and I'm like, right, he can't just do it yet. He actually needs the shadow clone to help him prep the Rasengan before he gets it off. And
in my head, it's always with a shadow clone because I think that's even cooler. Because yes, he can do it by himself by running, but I think two Narutos is a bit more menacing.
I think it was funny to me because the idea is like he's walking dramatically towards him, but just in the background you've got the shadow clone prepping the Rasengan. And I'm like, God damn it. It just seems like he was supposed to be edited out, and he was left in there as a film mistake. He's like the extra wire that helps you fly. And you're like, yes, I know that's necessary, but I don't need to see that in my suspension of disbelief. Because I don't know.
I like it. I like it more because it feels like he's like, he's walking there like silently, like it's like, oh no, that Naruto's trying to, hurt me in the background. What, you gonna talk shit, huh? There's like two of them in the background. You gonna talk, you better fucking walk, motherfucker.
I just think it's funny, because it just feels like he's awkwardly there. Like, and as soon as I finish this, my life will no longer cease to reflect matter. Like, this is the only moment I get.
This is the existence. It's funny. It's like, no, they're all me. That's what the dead one says. What? Just kills the real Naruto. No, I am Naruto. Just takes the place of Naruto. But anyway, so this got dark real quick.
The Naruto that we know now was just a really advanced shadow clone.
Exactly. The Naruto that I feel like I'm fucking writing a Junji Ito fucking manga. Eventually, the Naruto that's hidden somewhere because he can't die. Because if he kills that Naruto, then he will disappear. But he dies, and then that shadow clone just poofs away. I think that's how Naruto ended. I haven't finished the manga yet. I think that's how Naruto ended. He just poofed, and it was just like, what? Either that or they were all made of clay.
And they exploded?
Maybe. They were all made of clay. And it was like, wait, what? You're made of clay too? And then it was either Naruto or Dairanger. I don't remember which one. But I'm pretty sure that's how Naruto ended.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So anyway, we would like to thank you all for listening in for the first ever Matt and Satish Anna Saturdays. That actually is an Anna Saturday, not just some pre-recorded anime Saturday, right? And this is fun. We should do this more in the future.
I'll think about it when I'm not watching anime, because I don't watch anime.
I was sitting back like, is he really going to fucking do this? Like, we can do this in the future. I would prefer not to. Thank you. You have a nice day.
No, I'll do it. I just, I have to make time in my schedule to, watch anime, because I don't watch anime normally, ever.
Okay. So you're, like, I hate this so much because it's just like, it's a fucking comedy duo in itself, but it's just weird. It's just like the normal guy and then the guy who's just, yeah, Like, I'm not even being Mr. Energetic, I don't think. I'm just like, hey, so it would be really nice to do this again. What is again? What is life? There will never be spring, Matthew. Though, to be honest, it feels like there would never be spring. Like, this New York weather that we've had over the last few weeks, I don't think spring is coming. I kind of sympathize with her.
Never
I don't
give
think
up,
spring
Matthew.
is coming.
Never give up.
Got to believe it. Anyway, or believe it, Dio. I don't know. Whichever one. Anyway, so thank you all for listening in. We're at the end of our show. I want to mention, not only our merchandise that we have, which is, cafepress.com/TGOTR merchandise, where you can get some fun T-shirts, based on our podcast and based on our Let's Play. Our Let's Play, by the way, which can be found on YouTube by searching up Those Guys Play, and you can find our podcasts on YouTube by searching up Those Guys on the Radio. But you can also find our podcasts on our main website, which is thoseguysonthereradio.tumblr.com, our Facebook, which is /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, our Instagram, which is /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, our Twitter, which is @ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, and I believe I already mentioned our Facebook, but I'll say it again, /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio. Also, you can find us through iTunes by searching up Those Guys or Those Guys on the Radio, and you can email us by emailing us at thoseguysonthereradio@gmail.com. And by doing that, you can email us either to suggest a show idea, or we can promote your show, your product, your service on our podcast. So we have all those things that I just mentioned. You can also find our TG News on some of our social media accounts or through YouTube by searching up TG News. We do a weekly news show, Nerd News, and it's fun stuff. Also, we have the newest season of Those Guys Play coming up, so definitely check that out. And, of course, we have Those Guys Play Star Wars Battlefront, and we also have Matt Beats Games from his childhood, where I am Matt beating games from my childhood, and the game that I'm currently beating is Mega Man X. So, yeah, fun stuff. Good stuff. Also, tomorrow, because we are doing this live right now, tomorrow, WWE Fastlane. Fastlane.
I knew we were doing something tomorrow.
Fastlane. And then what are we doing on Monday? Monday Night Raw. And then what are we doing on Saturday? Satish is sleeping. Satish is sleeping on Saturday.
I'd like
Not
to
Saturday,
sleep for
Tuesday.
a century. I'd like to be a Snorlax.
What? Do a Pokemon podcast, you say? Okay. We'll be doing the Pokemon movie next, whenever the fuck.
Yes, I'd like to
No.
be a Snorlax. And the Poke Flute won't work. I'll just hit you really hard.
That'd be great. Just Poke Flute, just shut the fuck up.
Well,
You act like it's an alarm.
Even when you Poke Flute in the early games, right? One of the Snorlaxes slumbers away, but the other one fights you.
Yes. So in a way,
I'm the
it's
one
like
that fights you.
But I can catch you then.
Yeah, if I don't kill everything you have.
That's true. But Satish, they faint. No, it murders them.
I'm not even going to let them faint. I'm going to send them straight to the Lavender Town memorial thing.
It's right there.
Good.
Anyway, so this is taking a horrible turn. I think everything's going wrong here. So we thank you. We thank you for listening in, everybody. Don't let Satish be a Snorlax. Just don't. Good night. Right? Good night, everyone.
Yes, yes.
Say good night to Tish.
Good night, Neji.